Dude, that intro still gets me every single time. Like the countdown starts and I start getting like pregame jitters, and it's like, oh, let's go. So
It
it gets
is
me.
good. It is good.
It is. How the heck are you, man? What's happening?
Oh, man, you know what's going on. We're crazy here, man. We're
Just
crazy.
rocking and rolling. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm on another level with stress and life navigation. All
Nice.
good stuff. Just like whoa, mind blowing.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. I'm having a great year. We're on to some fun things and no complaints here, man. How about you?
Good. Kicking butt this last week. God, felt like it's weird. I've had a lot of like weird. I don't want to call it like hostility, but like haters.
Mm.
They'll let like a consistent one every 3 weeks just comes out of the woodwork. But
The same one?
through, no, different one.
New one will
Like
pop up.
different one every week, and it's
Consistently,
like
somebody will come out. You're saying.
right, and it's like what the heck?
That
What
means you're
is
doing
going on
something
here?
right, bro. You're doing
Uh,
something right. You're
It's
hitting nerves.
yes, yeah, but we're humans, right? So like you do look inward, like okay, this is becoming more common. Is am I doing something wrong, right? And you stay grounded, you stay rooted, and you're like, okay, no, like there's just crazies. The more that you're out there in the public eye, like the more this stuff is going to happen. But
Yeah.
through all of that,
You
some
know what I'm doing.
amazingly cool stuff has happened. This last week, like one of my top reps is out. He's out west hunting, duck hunting for the week, and
Nice.
so I'm jumping back in, and he's like my main guy for selling bigger stuff, and so I'm jumping back in, and I almost had a 6-figure day. I did it over 2 days, but I couldn't quite get everything done in one day, so almost had a 6-figure day. Those are cool, right? They're few and far between for me running as few estimates as I do these days, but it's cool. It's cool when that happens, and if I could do that every day, we'd be at that $10 million number. So, but
Yeah, but you could argue that's not sustainable either.
right,
It's like if I
yep,
could, so I'm in the same boat. We slide in
exactly,
and slide out. We all know on the scale side, like you got to find great operators. For all you owners out there, you replace yourself with a salesperson. They're never going to be you. They're never going to be that 100%. But if you can get somebody at 82, you've done pretty good. You got a
yeah,
B plus rating on a sales guy. Now you can go do other things and play CEO. But that's the hardest part is replacing oneself and actually swallowing your pride and your ego and understanding you can't be everything to everybody. You have to choose a path of leadership and stay on that track and then slide people into these roles that for whatever reason you put it on the scale, you should be doing this over here and delegate the sales to somebody else because when you boil out the recipe, your biggest impact is going to be doing some
right.
aside from sales.
That's
As
it.
great as that is.
That's it. And I mean that's like a perfect lead in. So I've been trying to replicate myself. It's very, very hard to replicate yourself. You definitely can't do it with one person.
No.
You can't find one person. And so our guest today is actually
Did you make a Frankenstein? Is that what are you Dr.
you know what?
Frankenstein?
You
We're
know
about
what, dude? I think
Halloween,
I think
Halloween
what I
prepare.
did was like I recreated myself, but in robot form. So
I can't
like,
wait to see
and
this
this
Terminator.
and this dude lives by robots don't sleep, and he literally is like the epitome of that. He just goes, 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 goes.
Yeah,
This fella has filled rooms with over 7,000 people to hear him speak about sales and marketing.
nice.
I
I know who
often
it is.
deem him the Russell Brunson of Brazil. All right.
Oh, that's a big
Um,
those are big
it,
shoes to fill there,
it's
bro.
huge. I mean, but if you think about it, 7,000 people is more than Russell's ever filled in a room for one of his funnel hacking lives.
Yeah, right?
So
I don't know
it's
what he commands in a room.
yeah. So I mean, he's spoken at events bigger than that, but his personal events, anyways.
All right, let's get him out here.
Yeah. So without further ado, my good friend who has turned into a business partner through serving his face off. So this is like encouragement for all of you out there. If you get into a good business and you do what's right and you serve your face off and you just constantly are looking for ways to elevate that business, you should be rewarded like Daniel is. So
Yeah.
Daniel is my business partner and good friend, Daniel Den, partner in Gutter Watch. Yeah, absolutely. Bring him out, George. Bring him out. So partner in Gutter Launch and a part like a profit share partner inside of One Way Exteriors as well. So
And I don't remember.
I only met this dude 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, the last time he was on the show, he was broadcasting from a McDonald's.
Yeah.
A very busy one at that.
That's right. Yeah, and he was translating for us in Portuguese.
That was an amazing show, to be honest. I got a lot
It was.
DMs
That was
that one.
crazy. Right.
A little bit stressful because I'm not a translator, but it all worked out.
You did a great job.
That's right.
Now we get to focus on you tonight.
That's right.
I got some exciting stuff to share. So pre-show, Frank, Colin, and I, we were talking about scaling a business. And Colin and I were sharing some big goals with Frank. And Frank was like, if you can get 30% increase year over year in your business, you are doing phenomenal. And I absolutely agree. But I feel like we cracked the code this year to something special. And that completely changed our goals and trajectory for the next years.
Huge.
So how much of that code cracking are you going to share with the audience tonight? That's the real question.
Yeah. So before we reveal what we're code cracking, I actually have an analogy for you guys that I learned from a very famous internet marketer. Has anybody ever heard of a Perry Marshall? He used to be like known as like the Google Ads guru. He's still super smart, super involved in the internet marketing community. Anybody out there ever hear of Perry Marshall? If not, that's okay. I've got an analogy from him that is absolute. It's a game changer. So he shared this like in a book that I read from his about 15 years ago. So I've been around the block when it comes to.
Did he freeze on us?
He is freezing. I thought it was me. No, he's at my office. He has really good internet, and nobody's on it right now.
Maybe he's got another device on or something. That's always our go-to trick to kind of.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Who disconnected? Was it
you? It was you.
Disconnected.
It was you.
And that's the secret to cracking $1 million a month, y'all. Let's go. That was weird. You guys just like disappeared. I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
All right.
So what's the secret? Because you cut out right when you started to.
That's perfect timing.
I know.
That's perfect timing, right? The secret. So Perry Marshall talked about in his book like 15 years ago when I was reading his book. He talked about the wine glass effect when it comes to paid advertising. All right. So imagine a wine glass. I wish I had brought one with me, but imagine a wine glass. And let's use Google Ads as an example. You could insert any platform. You know, if you're doing Facebook ads, if you're doing Angie's ads, whatever it is. But in our case, we're going to do Google ads, okay, as the example. And so the wine glass effect looks like this. If you pour some wine in your wine glass, you get it filled up to a certain level. Right. As you rise to the top, you have to pour more and more wine in to keep rising up to the top. And so this wine glass effect, when it comes to Google ads, looks like this. If I spend $1,000 a month, I might be getting like a solid 10 leads a month for my gutter business. Maybe, like as long as I'm like optimized and everything.
Yeah, and that's a good number.
Yeah, so $100 a lead, right?
Take that all day.
So yeah, I take that all day, every day. Now, we would love to be like, oh, well, if 1,000 is going to get me 10 leads at $100 a piece, well, what happens if I put $2,000 in? Now, what happens is we'll probably get about 15 leads, which jumps it up to about $133 a lead. And we're like, all right, well, that's still all right, right? So let's try $3,000, okay?
Right.
So what happens a lot of times is maybe you'll see like 20 leads at $3,000 a month. That's $150 a piece. Okay, all right, we're still doing all right. You know, I'm not happy that it's 150 instead of 100, but you know, I'm still doing all right. What if we look at $6,000, right? Well, that might only get me 30 leads.
So can we also call this the law of diminishing returns?
Oh, 100%.
Idea here.
Exactly. The law of diminishing returns happens all the time with Google ads. So that's $200 a lead. Now, if I want, and then if I want to be super ambitious, maybe I'm spending $10,000 a month. Maybe I'm only getting 40 leads, and that's $250 a lead.
Right.
And for some of us, that might be like, okay, that's it. Like I'm tapping out. Okay. So we hit this law of diminishing returns. But I promise you guys that what Colin and I started testing about 5 months ago, we don't hit the law of diminishing returns.
It's true.
Really?
So what is it? And we got a visitor here in the office, so I got to double check here in a second. So Colin, reveal what it is, and I'll see who our visitor is real fast.
Yeah, there should not be a visitor at my office.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
you grab the old pistola on the way out.
Yeah, Daniel, underneath the desk, there's a 9mm. All right, so that is unique. Anyways, so what is it? What are we experiencing no diminishing returns in, but rather like the opposite? Not only is this lead source getting us more leads.
So wait a minute, hold on a second. It's the same lead source you continue to put money into, or this is some formula on various lead sources in
same lead source that we continue to put money into, and if we add to the budget of it, it continuously adds more leads and replicates them at not the Google rate, right? But it doubles. It truly doubles. All right. And then we also get like residual leads from it as well. Leads that don't convert right then, that come crawling back later on. All right. And what this lead gen source is, what this lead lever is door-to-door canvassing. All right. Sure. So canvassing, oh my goodness. Like I've known for years that people are still doing this for roofing and solar and like home security, things like that. But nope, not many people are doing it in gutters. And at one of our live events at a Gutter Secrets Live right before GutterCon, I guess this was not 2025, but 2024, we had a fella, shout out to Leroy down in Sarasota, Florida.
Yep.
He came up and he's like, this is our number one lead gen, man. Like we go and we knock doors all day, every day. And this is it. And he's got a history in knocking doors. And it took us a whole year to implement this. But Daniel,
working on this for months. We've been talking about this.
My goodness,
for 5 months, Daniel.
We are consistently at this point getting 10 leads a day.
So you've refined
from one guy, from one person,
perfected the art of. Look, can we say that is what you've been doing?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to say perfected. I don't want to say perfected because perfection insinuates that it's the absolute best. There's no other way. There's no other tips or tricks that could get us even more. I don't want to say perfected because we're always testing new things. And if you're not testing, you're going to get past. All right. If you're not trying new stuff, you're going to get past. So if you ever meet somebody who says this is the only way, kick them in the nuts and run away. All right. Like that's it. All right. So
before you go any further, let's just agree to this. All right. Whether it's rain gutters, roofing, any industry, any kind of home improvement service, I would say cold calling is another one. It's number 2, but canvassing, door-to-door canvassing has got to be the kryptonite to the sales guy, right? Nobody really truly wants to do it. It takes a unique individual. So my first series of questions for you folks, Daniel, Colin, how do you convert the guy that is allergic to this kryptonite into a door canvasser, door-to-door canvasser? How do you get them through that mental block on I'm just not comfortable doing this. I don't want to cross the threshold. I don't want to go on this guy's property. How do you get somebody to a place where they can actually accomplish the task? Because I think this is probably and this is why it's a great one, right? Because it's nobody wants to do it. It's the kryptonite. So you guys have this gem at your fingertips because you're able to broach the block, the mental block. I'll shut up. You tell me how you do it.
Yeah. Well, we've been cracking that code over the past few months. And what we found is this. It starts from when you're going to hire. You can't retroactively try to convert all of your current sales reps into knocking doors, because some of them, they're just going to crumble. Like they're literally going to
Yeah.
fall apart. They're going to melt.
They're quitting the job. They're done. You can't do this. You can't make me do this. I'm done.
Exactly. 100%. And so what we found is, if you can, from the beginning, attract the right who that is okay with also canvassing as part of their training, then you probably are going to end up with the most solid sales rep possible, because they ain't scared.
Right.
They ain't scared. And they've got the personality. They're outgoing. They know their stuff.
Yeah.
And once again, they ain't scared. So that's like the most important thing. And so what we're doing is we are drastically changing up the way we do our hiring when it comes to anybody that's going to be involved with sales on our team. And we are letting people know up front that part of the training will include at least 2 weeks of canvassing.
Right.
Once they do 2 weeks of canvassing, then they will do something arguably easier, which will be 2 weeks of rehash on the phones, calling up old leads and trying to sell them deals. And then after that, we will start getting them their one-to-one appointments with the dream customers.
And I want to touch on this too, that second part. So the front end, they have to do door knocking. If they can't, guts it through door knocking, if they can't follow our SOPs in door knocking, they're not going to follow them at the customer's house. All right. Yeah. But then we put them in the boiler room, and the boiler room, they're hounding Facebook leads. All right. So we all know a Facebook lead form comes in. You got to call them 700 times in order to get them on the phone.
Terrible.
Right? So they're hounding Facebook, they're hounding Angie's, they're calling up old estimates that didn't close, trying to rehash, offering deals, offering discounts, like whatever it takes to get the deal, because some money's better than no money. All right. Now, of course, they're not just coming up guns a-blazing up. They're like, hey, we'll give you 20% off. Like they're trying to get it at our premium price, but if we got to come down, we can. So they're doing that. They're learning the art of it, because we want them to know how much it costs the company to get their butts to the door.
Right.
Right. Because if a rep doesn't understand that every time they go up to a customer's house and knock on that door and try and schmooze them into a sale, that it costs the company minimum $150, $200, like why would they care to sell it? All right. But when they know that, they're like, okay, I need to make all of these count. They need to be done the right way, because other people are doing their job so that I get the opportunity to do my job. And if I do my job, then I've got production that gets to do their job. All right. And that's why we fly the do your job flags. So I want to focus in though really in depth on the canvassing today, because I think this is like the meat and potatoes. Every single day, Frank, you get the same messages. I got to get more leads. Like, how much are you spending on Facebook? How much are you spending on this thing? And it's like, guys, like
same old story over and over.
Same old crap. It ain't that, right? Your offers probably suck. Your ads probably suck. Like putting more money at it isn't going to fix the problem. Get your butt out there, knock on some darn doors. And Daniel, take it away. Talk about some of the things.
Let's get people excited, because we really got to sell people on this. So here's the thing: it took Colin and I a while to be sold on this,
right?
And then when we finally tested it out, the idea was I was going to fly from Florida up to Michigan with my 16-year-old daughter and my 14-year-old son, and we were going to do it as a test, because I had this inkling that we could probably crush. My inkling was correct. And in that first month, myself and my daughter and my son, we generated 90 set estimates, not just 90 leads, because we got some additional leads as well, but 90 set appointments.
Incredible.
In that first month. Just the three of us.
George says, incredible.
And And I was like, holy smokes.
Right.
There was a few little bottlenecks on the sales side because our sales team needed to learn how to more effectively work with that type of lead. They had never
Right.
received that type of lead before. I'll share the secret. Basically, we figured out don't be afraid to do it as a two-step sale if
That's right.
needed. Okay. Now, if I knock on your door, Frank, and I schedule the appointment for Colin to come next week, and Colin comes to your house, and if you're ready to close straight away, sure, yeah, we'll take it.
Right.
But if Colin senses he needs to two-step it, then he's going to come.
I show up and your wife's not there because it's just an inspection or whatever.
Right.
I'm not going to try and sell you right then. I'm going to reschedule.
Yeah, and that's a free inspection I gave you. I promised you that we were going to do it that way.
Yep.
I mean, look, we're doing it's no different than what we're doing on the back end of a low price service, right? So one of our strategies on, it's lead gen. Our strategy is as we do we're entering gutter cleaning season in Connecticut.
Yeah,
and we do. I don't know what we're going to do. $300,000, $350,000 in gutter cleanings in the next 2 months. When we do it, we have the service techs that are doing the cleanings just fill company cam with photos of anything they could see. Yeah. And then we take that and we sell our gutter cleanings with free inspection, Yep. And then we take that information, that data, and then we have to go through that and regurgitate that. Again, it's a multi-step process, but there's opportunity in it, right? I think the biggest, and I don't want to get away from the topic here, but the biggest flaw in a contractor, gutter contractors particularly, is they want these leads that are like served on a platter. Here it is. They want the job sold. I mean, we were selling SMS leads until the government decided they wanted to dial up the legality of it, the TCPA laws. So we stopped doing it. We just dumped the program because we want to be on the up and up and be white hat. But long story short, in selling leads, it was like, well, these leads I'm not converting the leads. It's like, you're not doing the work, bro. You want that? You think you're going to sell the job on the phone? You think we pre-sold the job for you? No, we gave you an opportunity of a homeowner that is interested in XYZ. Now go do your job. You have to do it. You got to get the chop to do it. Maybe
it's because so many get started on word of mouth only. All right, and that's it. Yeah. And they are used to word of mouth, which are referrals, right? And those always are slam dunks. All right. If Frank recommends me, somebody's buying. All right. It works like that. So when you start doing other lead sources, because you can't be busy on just word of mouth. It doesn't work that way.
No,
right?
That's a small percentage. When you look
at such a small percentage. I mean, you might be able to stay busy, you and a helper. All right, doing five to 8 jobs a week, right?
It becomes 5% of your lead gen.
Yeah.
7% is a referral.
Right.
You're lucky.
Yep. Exactly.
We're going to put this as an analogy just to help everybody out. A referral that you get, the amount of how warm they are and ready to buy is pretty much a 10 out of 10. It's a referral. Like they have a need. They asked for a referral. They got your recommendation. They trust the recommendation. They're 10 out of 10.
Ready to buy.
Google is also extremely strong, as you guys have probably all recognized. Somebody saw that you have 200 5-star reviews on Google. They went to your website. They saw that,
if they're actively searching, it's a strong, if they're hitting keywords because they're searching for them. Yes.
Exactly.
Very high likelihood.
Probably 8 out of 10 level of warm, ready to buy most of the time, right? A door knocking lead, I interrupted their dinner. Okay. I pointed out that they have a problem. Okay. Usually, and this is important. This is getting into the strategy. I point out that, hey, I noticed that, for example, I noticed that during the wintertime, you probably have a lot of ice that gets on your steps. And like right here, right? They're like, oh yeah, ice gets there all the time. It's a huge hazard. It's a huge issue. I say, yeah, we're experts at helping people avoid getting that ice on the steps. The solution is gutters. We're one of the few companies in the area that help people with gutters. and I was wondering if you wouldn't be opposed to a free gutter assessment. Oh, okay. I pointed out their pain and they're like, "Oh, gutters is the solution. Oh, I didn't realize that." Okay. Yeah, let's see how much gutters would cost. When I schedule that, when I call into Heidi and schedule that appointment for Colin to come to your house, I'd say that they are 5 out of 10, like where they need to be. One.
Right. They're willing to listen, but they don't know if they need it or want to spend the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if Colin shows up and just offer and says, "Oh yeah, I did the measurements, in 5 minutes and here's your quote." Yeah, he's going to close maybe 10% of them. Like,
right.
And that sucks, right?
Yeah.
But to get them to that 10 out of 10, that 8, 9, 10 out of 10, Colin's got to do the dance. Colin's got to remind them, "Oh, yeah, you've got ice issues." "Oh, yeah, that's right. I got ice issues."
So you guys need to be in sync, right? Are you exchanging crib notes and what are you using tech stack wise to kind of take notes or, reminder on what you pitch them so that Kyle or the next sales guy sees it and speaks the same jargon?
Yeah, part of our SOP. When I call Heidi to schedule with you, Frank, I'm at your door. I say, so here's the, "Oh, you're interested." You say yes, I'm willing to hear you guys out with a free assessment. I say, "Great, Frank." The next step, super simple. I'm going to give Heidi, who is our amazing office manager, a call, and whatever the best time for you is, Frank, we're going to have one of our gutter experts come out and give you your assessment. So if it's all right with you, Frank, I'm going to go ahead and give Heidi a call so we can get that scheduled. And you say yes because you already agreed to it. So, but I'm setting the expectation. Heidi answers and I say, "Hey, Heidi, how's it going? I'm talking to Frank. What was your last name? Frank? Oh, Hennigan. Okay, I'm talking to Frank Hennigan. Yeah, we figured out that he has some major ice issues on his steps and in front of the garage as well, right, Frank? Yeah, in front of the garage as well. And it's because he doesn't have gutters, and he accepted one of our free gutter assessments. So if it's all right with you, Frank, I'm going to go ahead and pass the phone from Heidi over to you so she can get everything scheduled with you. All right. And
let me pause you right there, Daniel, because I'm trying to be an advocate for the guys at home. I see a lot of questions coming in. They're interested in an example. You're giving a great example of a sales pitch. Like this is fantastic. Again, playing advocate for them. My question is this, and I have office staff, and I know the psychological and subliminal back and forth I play it all day long when I'm out in the field or I'm dealing with homeowners where I'm ping-ponging off the office. It makes us look, like we're highly organized, which we are, but like it shows breadth and depth of staff and, a level of organization and sophistication that really helps me sell. They're like, wow, these guys are like a highly orchestrated professional sports team. You know what I mean? He's pitching the ball back to the quarterback, and the quarterback's going to take it and schedule me and pass the ball downfield to the sales guy tomorrow or what have you. For the guys at home that are trying to get out of their own friggin' way, they're trying to break through that glass ceiling. They don't have staff yet. They want to. They understand the value of it. They don't have the girl in the office. It's them. They're slow right now. They're listening to what we're talking about tonight because they're going to go out and knock doors because they got to feed their family.
Yeah.
Is this part of the sales pitch that they must have? Should they fake this, or are you going somewhere with calling the girl in the office? Is this a critical element in the play at hand, or is there another way about this for guys that are the chief, the cook, and the bottle washer?
There's no other way.
Okay.
So if you're flying solo,
He's bullshit.
Yes, I am. If you're flying solo, the most effective thing, we actually learned it from Leroy. Point out the issues. They say yes to the yes to the free assessment or free estimate, whatever it is. Say, "Great. Can I come back?" And then you schedule it for the next 30 minutes, hour and a half. Because you have previous commitments down the road with the neighbors.
Okay, I like that. It's strong.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm tied up. This is a small window. Actually, I have an appointment down the street. I'm just knocking because I'm 10 minutes early.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm working in the neighborhood, but I don't have time for you right now. but I can come back in 2 days.
Yeah.
You want to take away, right? You want to, I got,
it's increasing your perceived value, right?
Exactly.
That's all your perception. Like, oh, whoa, you're kind of a hot commodity. Okay. All right. I want that too.
Exactly. Because if I
Russ, you know, I'm in town just for tonight, and then I'm flying back to Seattle tomorrow. So, you know, I have time for a drink and a sales pitch for the next 30 seconds, and then I gotta go. People need me. I'm an important guy.
Yep.
So it's positioning. You must learn to position yourself.
That's right.
It's
easier. And your company.
It's
and your company.
Than done to position yourself if you're flying solo. But you have to learn that. One of the best things I learned from Dan Kennedy, he says, when you're starting out, that, you know, you've got 0 clients, okay? And you have a client, you missed a call, and they left a voice message. He says, don't you dare call that client back right away. Don't you dare. Now, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, you know, oh, sorry, I was so busy. I'm dealing with other things, right?
It's like trying to date a girl. You don't want to come off as desperado, right? You want to ice her a little bit. Exactly. Little suspense, build a little suspense. Maybe you're dating somebody else right now. Maybe you're chatting up somebody else at the moment. You're too busy. Let him think for a minute. Where is he? But
and also, if I'm flying solo and I schedule you, Frank, and say, hey, I can't do it right now, but I can come back in an hour and a half. What that does is it gives me prep time. Okay. Yeah. It gives me time to make a game plan, to come with all of my samples and everything, to do my best dog and pony show and really dive deep on your pain points. So I know when I come and do that inspection, I'm going to do a thorough inspection. I'm going to point out, oh yes, we talked about the ice here, but oh, I also noticed on the back you have these issues. Oh, I also noticed it looks like you've got, you know, a lot of dirt washing away from the foundation of the house. That does not look good. We definitely are going to help you take care of that. By the way, do you have any water going into the basement? Oh, are you okay if I go ahead and do a quick basement inspection while I'm here as well? Colin always says we want to inspect what others don't so that we can ask for what others can't. You guys have probably heard that said at least 10 times over the past 10 weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's true.
Yep.
Now, if I straight away, they're like, oh yeah, we can do it. And then I'm like, okay, great. I'll get going right away. Yeah, there's not really a dance going on.
Now, look, you guys are giving us the data points on the effort here. And I mean, it sounds intriguing. I will tell you, to the guys that are a little miffed or frustrated or disheartened, if you set out and do this on your own, you might have that girl in the office in short order. You know, it might take you 2 weeks to stack enough jobs where you just turn around and get somebody to actually answer that phone call. When you're calling from the front porch, or somebody else is making that phone call, you know?
Right. I mean, let me just encourage all of you. You might be like, I'm a rough and tough gutter guy, right? My project manager on the roofing side was a roofer for the last 4 years. All right. He was worked behind, like, back of house as a chef before I hired him as a roofer, and put him on one of our sub crews for the last 4 years. Brought him in as project manager this year. Rough and tough, former Marine, you know, beard, everything, right? Like the dude. And he went out. He's like, you know what? I want to learn sales. And we're like, hey, man, step 1 is learning how to canvas. He went out for the first time ever. How much training did he actually get, Daniel?
He watched my 4 hours of gutter launch training where he learned everything. He said he watched the whole thing. He spat back to me parts that he really enjoyed, big aha moments that he had. And so we had 4 hours of training, and then we had the car ride over where we role played in the car for about 40 minutes. And then I started following him down the street, and every single time he would knock on a door, I would go hide. That's my SOP when I'm training a canvasser. Like, I'm like, all right, this house, I would say this. He's like, okay, I got it. And then I go and hide, right? Yeah. And then I go back and be like, all right, how did it go? And he just he just got it straight away. And the first day he ever went canvassing, he scheduled 4, which is a record for us at One Way Exteriors for a canvasser brand new on their first day. That's the record. He scheduled 4 that day.
In 5 hours. In 5 hours, he scheduled 4 appointments. All right. Incredible. Like, what would 4 extra appointments do for you in your business? I mean, just think about that.
Guys, that should be at least 1, maybe 2 sales,
That's right.
By the numbers. We have some other questions here. 2 that come to mind. One is internal here, and the other is Marcus Ray's question. Marcus is asking, what about an example, Marcos, what about an example of a pitch or better ways when dealing with a GC? So I guess what he's asking is, how do you pitch a GC if you're probably rolling up on a construction site and or you see a house being built? That's a good question, because a lot of contractors. I remember back in the day. It's been a long time. Not that I'm too good for it, but I'm just too busy. I don't pull up to. Well, I hate builders too.
Yeah.
But I just don't roll up on construction sites anymore, because I could give you 100 reasons why. But you can make a living that way. You can definitely get work. Do you guys do that? And if you do, what's your script on that?
I've never done that. I wouldn't really change much. I would be like, oh, hey, y'all, how's it going? So amazing property. Congratulations. What's going on? What do you guys, who's the builder? Gather some information. And then I would say, hey, by the way, I'd love to throw my hat in the ring for some gutter work. That's what I do. And I'm really good at it. I've got over 200 5-star reviews on Google, and we'll love to help you guys out. Would you be opposed to me throwing my hat in the ring for a bid for getting the gutters done?
Notice what Daniel says. Would you be opposed? The average person is not going to say, yeah, I would be opposed.
Right.
No, you're
basically framing them to give you the yes.
That's right.
Smart way.
That's all it is. Yep. Yeah. Sometimes, a lot of times we say, shoot, Daniel, I'm mixing it all up now. You wouldn't be opposed to a free estimate.
Yeah, I make it more confusing on purpose. Yeah. I'll say, hey, I was just wondering if you wouldn't be opposed. How do you answer that? So what's the purpose? Am I trying to trick Frank if I say, hey, I was wondering if you wouldn't be opposed?
No, and they'll still say yes because you got their head spun,
That's right.
Yes, I would.
So it's not necessarily the reason why this works. The reason why we get a higher yes rate to that estimate or whatever isn't because we're intentionally trying to trick them into saying a yes to the estimate. It's because it lets people pause. It stops the knee-jerk reaction of saying no. Because if you're shopping in the mall, you're at Macy's or whatever, you're looking at something, hey, I just seeing if you need any help. No, I'm good, right? That's the knee-jerk reaction. No, I'm good. I don't need anything. So we need to stop the knee-jerk reaction at the door, because we are interrupting their day. We're interrupting their work site. Yep. And the best way we found to do that, we actually got this from Chris from Lead Scout, by the way. Shout out to Chris. He taught us to say, I was wondering if you wouldn't be opposed.
That's right.
I was just wondering if you wouldn't be opposed.
Yep.
And then people stop to have to think. And then while they're thinking that extra second, they're like, you know what? I don't have to immediately say no to this guy. He seems nice. He seems knowledgeable.
He's so polite.
Maybe I'll say yes after all.
Yep.
What do you guys do when there's no one home? You knock, nobody answers the door. Do you have a leave behind, a door hanger? There you go. All righty.
Door hanger.
Yeah, George is asking here in house here. Is it legal to leave something on the doorknob? Who cares? Let's start with that.
Yeah, who cares?
We've only gotten in trouble for canvassing. We haven't gotten ever in trouble for leaving the door hangers on people's doors.
Right. You cannot leave something in their mailbox. That is a big no-no. You don't mess with mailboxes. But as far as putting it on their door, we have not run into anything like that. And we've done all sorts of neighborhoods, HOAs. You name it, we've done it.
Yeah.
So.
It's not a problem until it's a problem, push the limits, do anything in your power until you get the, the nasty gram, the notice that says stop.
That's right. We even just had one where a homeowner was like, do you have a permit for this? And our canvasser was like, no, sorry, we don't. She's like, okay, well, you get one and I'll schedule with you. And he's like, okay, cool. Hey, how about I just get your information and I'll call you once we get that permit. And he ended up getting all of our information and he's going to call her once we get the permit. Anyways, we looked into that permit and it's only if you're selling something.
This is the one punch.
Yeah, so he actually called, or he's calling her, and he's going to be like, "Hey, yeah." So we actually looked into it, and I actually wasn't selling anything. I was just offering free assessments. So per the license or whatever,
inspections,
yep. Per the license, we don't actually need one. They told us we don't need one. Oh, okay, sweet. And then she'll schedule, hopefully. Right. But yeah.
Or we might just go get the permit in that city if we have to, because it's only $150. It's just annoying. So we've been forced to go get the permit in certain cities, and it's just, we don't go and actively try to get the permit until we're told by police or whatever, oh, you guys are supposed to have a permit, and then we're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, so with the drainage side of my business, there's a compliance element locally in the town I live in, actually. And if you have a system and it was mandated to have the system based on a building permit or a wetlands permit, you have to have this system inspected every 5 years, and you have to have an engineer generate a report. We do all of that. Those are services we provide. And what we've gotten very good at over the last 7 years is we go into town hall, have staffers that go into town hall, pull the data, get all the people that are on the big board for coming up for their inspection, because it's Freedom of Information Act. So we know how to query that data, compile it, bring it back to the office, and then we send letters. And our letters are very compliance driven. And the name of the company is Connecticut Stormwater Authority, which has a very strong authoritarian name. It makes you think. It makes you wonder. It sounds like we're like the water company, right?
Yeah.
So we send these letters, but we're very careful with our wording. But it does trip people up, where it sounds like we never claim to be the town. We are not the town. We don't work for the town. We work for the homeowner. But we are the bridge that gets you to comply with the town's requirements. But we use the town's name on our envelope and in our letter. And then we have a copy of the declaration that they sign that ties them to the fact that they have to do this. Long story short, one of my best friends is an attorney, and he's like my family attorney. And then when I need other attorneys, he's got the network. He's also the agent of register currently for like 2 of my companies. My home improvement businesses. He got a call. He used to work for the town. He was the zoning enforcement officer years and years ago. Now he's got his own law firm. He got a call from the town legal counsel, and the town attorney said, you're the agent for this company. This was like a week ago. They're sending letters, and I don't know, it's confusing homeowners, and I don't think they're claiming to be us, but the way that they word it, it's a little beguiling and blah, blah, blah. So my buddy calls me. He's like, hey, dude, just don't send any more. And we send, I don't know, shit. A lot of letters go out. Okay.
Yep.
And so we have a meeting weekly. We said, oh, should we pause them? And I said, well, no, they just called Casey, but nobody sent the letter to us. The town has not put us on notice. Right. They called him, but I don't have anything formal in the mail. I'm like, F them. We had a meeting this morning. Everyone was laughing. I'm like, fuck them. I don't give a shit. Send the letters. Who cares? Were they going to arrest me? Send the letter to me, you lazy mother. What do you do? You haven't even drafted the letter. You just made a phone call. Well, that's not going to be enough to motivate me. But anyway, you do what you can. If you want to be a lily, and you're not going to get much out of it. If you want to push the limits, do it until the doors, the tires fall off. Do it until they come and say, stop it. But, press the limit on all of that. Uh, Another thing I want to touch on, and I'm sure we could all three of us chime in on this before we continue, just on touching on Marcos' statement about approaching GCs. I can't go on to the next subject without giving my 2 cents on this. So I just want to inject. Marcos, if you walk up on any contractor, they will welcome you with open arms.
As long as you're the cheapest.
Because they're going to screw the guy they've been using for you for like a hot minute. They'll ride you for a couple weeks because that's the game they play. Don't let them be predatory. You're going to walk into the lion's den and show up on a job site and say, "Hey, I'm the next sucker. Sign me up." They're not. It's all price driven. And I'm just looking out. I don't want to see you fall into that trap. Don't do it. These guys pay for a minute and then they don't pay later. And
there are exceptions, but they're very rare.
they're very And if they're the exception to the rule, you struck gold. Like you're a lucky guy. But for the most part, understand the general contractor makes their money on margins. They sell at one price and they whack you at another, right? And that space between those, that divide between the numbers, is how they make their living. So don't fall victim to that. I don't work for builders. I go direct to the homeowner. If the builder finds me, I say, great, connect me with the homeowner. I'm going to strike a contract with the homeowner. Thank you for connecting us. If we need to, figure out how to get you taken care of, so be it. But I'm not doing a contract with you. It's going to be with the homeowner, and that's it. But anyway, I just don't want to see anybody get taken advantage of.
Like instead of actively pursuing the contractors, like we are going after retail jobs. Like I schedule an appointment for one of our sales reps to come out. We're trying to get, with the gutter cover and everything included, we're trying to get $35, $40 a foot. We're trying to get premium pricing here.
Right.
And so if I take my time driving around to go and see who's working on work sites, I mean, yeah, but I might only be getting $8 a foot.
Well, let's remember, guys, and this is the difference between the $8 a foot mentality and the $30 a foot mentality. The GC puts a margin on top of you. You never want anybody to be between you and the consumer, you and the homeowner. You never want one or two or three people separating you because that means they're all touching it and putting money on top of it. And the homeowner never is going to be able to afford it. You want to get direct to the homeowner. You want to glean all those margins for you. And that's how you get top dollar. A builder's never going to sell better than you, your $30 a foot product. They're never going to pitch it the right way. Mm-hmm. They're never going to do the job you can. And they're always going to put money on top of it and F up the relationship. So push them out of the way, have the balls. We were talking about the kryptonite and, how to have the brave heart to get to the door, to do the door knocking. Same idea. Push the builder, tell the builder to his face, I like you. Thank you so much. Who's the homeowner? Give me his name and number.
Yeah,
right. What do you mean? Well, we have to work with the homeowner. That's who we do our business with. I really appreciate you. I'm going to do an amazing job on your project. Our gutters are going to look amazing on the work you're doing here. Who owns the effing house? And give me his number. We're going to call him right now, and I'm going to set an appointment. I'll do the dance with him, show him the products, give him the price. That's how we get down. That's it. That's the only option, buddy. You want the goods? Otherwise, it's not worth it. It's not worth doing it. Who cares? It's just not worth your time.
Yeah. All right. I'm ready to move on from this. Austin Funk has a question.
Mr. Austin.
Austin was on our show, 3 months ago? Something like that?
Maybe more recently.
Yeah, was it?
Maybe 3.
All right.
What's he got?
Anyways, he says, how should I hire a canvasser? W-2 or 1099? What's their pay scale like? So I'll take this as the business owner.
Do it.
I hire everybody W-2. The only people who are 1099 are true contractors, right? Actual subs. So a canvasser, you need to control these sons of guns. All right. Like if you let them just willy-nilly go out and do it, it ain't going to work well. All right. It's not going to happen. So how we pay our canvassers is they get $15 an hour. All right, that's their base, $15 an hour. With that $15 an hour, they're expected to hit a par of 6 set appointments in a week. All right, beyond 6, they get bonuses. All right, so on numbers 7 through 14, they get $75 per set appointment.
Wow.
All right. If they hit 15 and beyond, 7 through 14, all retro pay to 100.
I'm sorry. What's the time period on this?
1 week.
Okay.
1 week. Yep. So 7 through 14 become worth not 75 but 100. All right. So $25 bonus on those 7. And then from 15 on, those are all worth $150. And then we also allow them to get bonuses on, you heard me talk about how Michael still got the customer's information when she said, get a permit and come back and I'll schedule. And he said, well, let me get your information. I'll just call you. We call that rainy day leads. So if I'm knocking on Frank's door, he doesn't want to schedule right now, but he's interested, I say, well, hey, Frank, let me just do this. We do this thing called rainy day leads. I'm out knocking doors. So if it's nasty raining, I'm not going to be out knocking doors. All right. Then I can't get paid. So my boss is generous enough to let me be in the office and call on customers who were interested, like yourself, but didn't book an appointment. So can I get your name, phone number, and email? And then I can get a hold of you on a rainy day. And 9 out of 10 times they do that. All right. So we pay them $10 for a rainy day lead as well. So an average day looks like 1 to 3 set appointments and 4 to 10 lately, 4 to 10 rainy day leads.
Specifically with Michael, I still don't know how he gets so many. I think I just focus on the appointments. So usually if I'm canvassing me, like I usually average about 3 a day, set appointments, and then about 3 rainy day leads. I'm usually like 3 for 3 and 3.
Wow.
We're trying to get Michael flipped because Michael's currently he's getting 1 to 2 a day, and then like 9 rainy day. It's like, Michael, you got to get some of those rainy day leads to turn into a set appointment.
Right.
A lot more money off of a set appointment. So,
all right, can we do this? Let's take what you. So I see what you're doing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Let's talk the next level up, or 2 levels up from management or executive perch, looking down on how this plays out over quarters or a year, a business year. What can you educate us on how this all kind of, if I 3x or 5x my leads and I don't have a spend on it, or the spend is fixed based on the hourly or per the lead, how do these numbers chart? Is there any way you could kind of speak to this?
Sure, 100%. The current bottleneck is finding the right who's, both for canvassers and sales reps. So we're trying to crack that code. Our best thing so far, recently, we just started testing it this week, is we started having all of our
I love this.
Yeah. We started having all of our applicants start sending us a 3-minute video, and they say, we say, thanks for applying. We looked at your resume. Thank you so much. For the next step, we just ask that you send us a 3-minute video selling us on why you would be the best for this position. Okay.
I like this.
This is the best filter that
for sure
we found.
Pressure's on, baby.
Guys, we got a middle school principal applying. Send us a video like he's all like dapper.
Really?
Yeah, middle school principal that wants to come work for us.
Yeah.
All right.
He used to sell cars. He seems like he's gonna be a rock star. But why is this filter so good? Because I'm trying to attract people that aren't scared and that are outgoing, right? And so within a 3-minute video, I can see really quickly a lot of things. I can see if that person is scared or not. If they're scared, if they're timid on a 3-minute video, you think they're going to be timid knocking doors? You're right. They're going to be. They can't
snapping away. Is that you, Kyle?
What's that?
Someone's tapping.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's me.
But he's just excited. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah.
What you doing under that desk?
I just love it. It's my cord. I just rub it on the crack
What's
on the
going on
desk.
over
That's
there?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was an interesting rhythm going on. It was an interesting rhythm.
Yeah.
Saying, bro.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Friction under there.
So we learn a lot through these 3-minute videos that people are sending us so far. And
That's a good
the
one.
best part of this filter is that people that were just looking for a paycheck, they're not sending videos over. They want me to send a video over. Man,
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
it's probably not. It's probably not for me. It's probably not for me.
That's right.
Back to the charting though. I'm sitting in the perch looking down. How does this
100%. And so our goal is to get 5 eventually. Okay. So
Okay.
right now I currently have I have 1 full-time canvasser, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 part-time canvassers. Okay. So I'm trying to get 5 solid canvassers that can perform daily. I want them. My goal is to have them all averaging 2 at least per day. They get paid well every single week if they can average 2 per day. That gives us 10 set appointments every single day. That is the goal. We have not hit it yet.
All right, stop there. Our good friend Kyle Greer was asking, what's your average cost per door knocker and what's the amount of leads per knocker per week? So right there, you just said if you again, we're going to chart this. If you have 5 and they're each bringing in 2 leads a day, that's 10 leads a day times 5 days in a week. That's 50 leads at the end of the week.
Yes.
What are your hard costs on those 50 leads for the
All
knocker?
right. Let's math it here. All right.
Each
So
one.
on average, they're working like 6-hour days times what are they working? 5 days a week, Daniel? Yeah.
Yeah. I actually already kind of know the math on this.
All right, go for it.
If I have a canvasser setting 10 appointments in this week, they're making about $1,000. Well, I'm paying them about $1,000.
Wow. All right.
If they hit, well, the record actually has been from my 14-year-old son. He scheduled 18 in a week. That week, because of all the bonuses that he hit, he got paid like it was between $2,100 and $2,200, and now that's
All right. So you guys, I love the numbers because just simple math on my calculator, we're hanging right around that $100 a lead mark.
That's it.
exactly.
That's
Right.
it.
No more, no less. I
And
mean,
you got to remember,
tolerate
we're
125,
selling
30 a lead, but we can't tolerate 250, right? You just can't do that day in and day out. A couple leads here and there, sure. So I like this. At 100 a lead, Kyle, hopefully we're answering your question here, but this is what I was after anyway. $100 a lead. Now, does that stay? This is how we segued, right?
And compared it to Google, but then you get up to like $250 per lead when you try to scale.
Yeah.
Why does this scale?
That's right.
Because I'm limited by how many of the right who's can I hire. So if I can keep on attracting the right
Dr. Seuss question.
What's that?
Was this a Dr. Seuss question?
Yeah. Hold up real quick. I want to hit on numbers. All right. So here's the risk. All right. And this is what can blow up.
There are no risks. What are you?
There's not. No. So this is what can like blow up. And this is the definition of blow up these numbers. All right. So you brought it up. It's about $100 a lead, which is amazing for like, it's good for gutters. It's great for gutters.
Yeah.
It's amazing for roofing and windows when our average ticket's 20, 30K. All right.
We're going to do all 30 windows here.
Yeah. All right. So, but if you hire the wrong person, you know within like a week if they're cut out for this or not.
Right.
All right. So in a week, if they work 40 hours and they don't hit their par, it costs you $600. All right. And if you're just getting 30 leads a week out of your canvassing team, that increases the cost per lead $20. So instead of 100, it becomes 120. So it's not going to blow up in your face. Right. Is what I'm getting at here. This is not like putting an extra $5,000 a month in Google where it's like, boom, oh man, that hurt really bad. All right. Yeah. It's not like that.
And that's whatever, look, that's really where everybody is at, right? Anybody that's tried to do this with some loose change, yeah, there's that $5,000. Man, I used to spend 15,000 in a month, 20,000 in a month, but I'd get the returns. The world has changed. The internet is different now. That return is not guaranteed whatsoever anymore, and it used to be pretty linear. Now it's throw it in a fireplace, burn it up.
Yep.
But you get, you grab that hot pan a few times, that $5,000, $10,000 sting on Google. Google's heartless. You don't want to do it anymore. You're nauseous. You don't want to open that refrigerator to eat anymore.
That's right.
I still remember the day I had to call. I had to basically call in and apologize because we wanted to do a test where we really jumped up our bids on Google to see what would happen.
Yeah.
Specifically on the roofing side.
LSA, or you're talking about PPC?
PPC. And so I jumped up my bids, and it was a CPA bid. I put it up, and I was like, "There's no way they're actually going to charge us this. There's no way." Silly me. I have to call up Colin and apologize because I, in real time, saw the charge for a click that was a phone. It was a phone call, so like a good click. They charged us $600 for that one click.
Holy shit!
And it did turn into a lead. We did schedule it. I don't remember if it turned into a sale or not. Right. But I saw, we've only spent $200 today, and boom, we've spent $800. What changed? One extra click cost me $600. That phone call.
LSA, Google Local Services ads, for those
I like
that know. All right, it's very reminiscent to me of like flying TSA pre-check or Clear, right? Yeah. LSA to me was like having Clear when Clear first came out, or before Clear was, pre-check is old now. But when you had it, not everybody had it. You kind of, it changed your life, your performance. Things were, you got in and out of TSA, security check, no sweat. Now everybody has the check mark. Everybody's, using the LSA. Back in the day, my trick was I dialed it up on their algorithm, and I was willing to spend $20,000, $30,000 a month. No problem. I just would set it to that. They'd never had enough leads to possibly touch that dollar amount. But because of the round robin algorithm, if it was me and 3 other contractors bidding, but I always was willing to spend 10 times what they were, I'd get the leads more often. And it worked for a while. And then they changed something. And now it's George just told me today, I think he said this morning in a meeting, it's like they're taking a check mark away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're doing something weird. I saw that. I think they're replacing it with something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe something else. It's always some BS, but I love this. Look, what I like about this is you're not reliant on third party. You're grabbing the bull by the horns. Yeah. You're reaching down into your own pants, making sure you got a sack in there, and then you're getting out and getting things done, man. I mean, that's what it takes.
Right.
Everybody wants to check.
The cool part is the opportunity for these canvassers. So they start at canvassing, and most of these people are coming to us with no sales experience, wanting to learn sales.
I'll tell you, boys, I'm scared.
They get to grow.
Convert me, man. How does somebody get the training for you guys putting it on? Is Gutter Launch putting it on?
Yeah, it's inside of Gutter Launch already.
Maybe you need to bring a component of this to the school. I mean, this is
put some of this in there.
Stuff. Go ahead, tell us how you get. How do you charge? How does somebody come to you to get this training? Go ahead and pitch that.
Oh dear, we were not expecting to pitch this at all. So
I want you to. I mean, look, a lot of guys that could take advantage of this. Maybe you're not doing it. I mean,
well, I tell you what, the best way is go to gutterlaunch.com and get on our discovery call for any Wednesday. We only do them on Wednesdays. We only allow 11 people in on those.
Lucky 11.
Yeah, the lucky 11. So that's the best way to learn about it. We've got all sorts of different options and ways that you can get access to this. So rather than taking it up here, I mean, yeah.
All right. No, by all means, hear them there. Gutterlaunch.com.
That's it.
Wednesdays.
I want to point out one more thing about the scalability of this, because like we said, we don't really hit a law of diminishing returns with this. Why? Well, you're limited by how many people you can attract for the position. Okay, we get that. We all get that, right? Hiring is a bottleneck for a lot of us. So we have to get good at hiring still. Sorry. But we don't run out of doors.
That's a good point.
That's right.
Because there are too many doors for us to knock on. I do not have enough people to knock on all the doors that I would like to.
And let me sprinkle a little common sense on this. Not only are you not running out of doors, but look how close you are to the actual prospect. You're at the freaking house. You're looking at the house. You see exactly what's needed. Otherwise, what am I doing? I'm spending money on some click ad, and I have no idea who's clicking on that. I have no visual on what the hell's going on back there. It's a bot. It's my competitor. It's Google. Who knows who's running up my bill,
Yeah, you couple this with Daniel, myself, and Daniel's brother-in-law, Jared, are building an app, or not an app, a software called Lead Spotter, which is going to tell us what houses to knock on, which houses need our services. My goodness, like this is just going to be like freaking wildfire here shortly. So,
you guys use Sales Rabbit?
No, Sales Rabbit is very similar to Lead Scout.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. My buddy's in solar. He was showing. I was away with him 2 weeks ago. A bunch of us were out. He's like, "Look at this, dude." He zooms in on the map at any house as we're driving down the street. He's like, "Look at that house right there." Zooms in, clicks on it. Who owns the house? What their salaries are? I think it said where they worked. What their mortgage payment is. I mean, he knows what underwear they're wearing. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Right. That's incredible.
Power.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know Chris, one of the founders of Lead Scout. I met him at a roofing thing, like a local thing. He's right here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I met him years ago, and he's been awesome to deal with. He's actively he hasn't had anybody that's really utilized his software like we are. And so he's actively developing with us, which is really fun. So
maybe there'll be an API into Gutter App, and we can make a connection with something you guys are dialed in on.
You'd be down with that for sure. So
sweet.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Yeah. I want to add one more thing to this, because this is why I'm so in love with canvassing. You know what? I got two more things. Can we go over a few more minutes? Can we over deliver today?
Do it.
All right. Okay. All right. So first and foremost, our canvassers are growing into sales reps inside of our company, and they prove to us that they will follow the commands. As a canvasser, if they follow SOPs there, they're going to follow them in the rehash room, and they're going to follow them in the customer's home. All right. A big problem that everybody has with sales is their sales reps just go out there and free willy it. They just figure out what works for them, and it doesn't really work for the company, right? So if you have good SOPs that you want them to follow, this is the best way to train them up in doing that. But caveat to this, we've talked earlier, and Kyle had some comments earlier too. It's impossible to replace yourself, right? Nobody's going to sell the business or the products like you will. And that's the truth. That just is the truth. Daniel is very, very rare. He's kind of a unicorn where he carries my burdens with me. He's just he cares a lot. But the average individual does not. So Daniel and I, to the tune of test everything, one of our gutter launch clients told us, I don't know, probably a month ago, that he has one of his technicians go and sell with him every time. And they don't like good cop, bad cop it really, but he's like, hey, so Nate, did I remember this? Did I say this already? Like, am I missing anything? And they just kind of play off of each other. And they had a stupid high closing rate, like 90% at premium pricing. And this is a 1-year-old business, right? And we were like, man, we should try this. And so we have this week. And I want to tell you guys the results so far. We're 3 for 4, could be 4 for 4. We're trying to reschedule to get back with the customer, but they don't have any of our pricing yet. So it's like, we'll still call it 3 for 3. All right. So the first one was a $3,000 job that ended up turning into, we quoted 13,000. They settled at 9,000. All right. Just because Daniel and I were able to play off of each other. The next one, she wanted like one slope of her roof done, and it turned into the full part. Would have been an $8,000 job, turned into a $14,000 job. All right. With having both of us on the job, on the demo. And we realized we have different strengths. And then the last one, it was a simple gutter cleaning, and we showed up to try and sell him gutter guards. And it was the weirdest appointment ever. I couldn't take pictures of the guy's house. I couldn't do anything on my phone. Like, he was like, nope, I don't want anybody knowing you're here. I trust you guys. I don't trust the hackers.
Get hacked.
Yep.
Was he wearing a tinfoil hat? And what hat was it? A sailor hat or did he have a Pope hat?
It was wild. But anyways, we ended up like he had like, I kid you not, guys, like 30 feet of ranch, like 8 foot, 10 foot tall gutters that need to be cleaned. That was it. Like a quarter of a bucket of stuff. All right. And so I was like, hey, sir, we're just going to take care of this for free.
It's always the guy that needs the work.
Yep. And I was like, we're just going to take care of this for free. And he insisted that we let him pay us, and he gave us $100. So, we just did it while we were there. We got paid $100 for an estimate. So that's 3 for 3. But moral of all of this is, we increased every single ticket selling together, but we played to each other's strengths. All right. What I'm really good at, like Daniel and I have a lot that crosses over, but we were able to recognize where I was able to connect really well with the customer. He was like, okay, cool. Colin's connecting. I'm not going to be the connecting guy. I'm going to be the sales guy. I'm going to be the push one, right? I'm going to ask the hard questions. And there's a different knowledge gap too. All right. I know everything that is gutters, drainage, roofing, windows, all that. Daniel does not. And so I was the knowledge guy. He was the sales guy. It was amazing. It was so good. And so what we're going to start doing is maybe this might be the future of sales. I don't know yet, because it creates extreme accountability. 2 sales reps going to every single appointment.
Interesting.
2 reps, 1 lead.
Most guys figure that's not affordable, right?
It's right. I know. And that's like my one hang up is this affordable? Can this work?
Depends on what you're selling. Depends on what you're selling, right, what the average ticket and the margins are, right?
That's right.
Numbers are there. 2 guys could sell Ferraris together, right? Probably.
That's right.
You know, it's like,
that's it.
We can get this done. We could split that number.
Right. And I played this scenario through my head. I think about, one of my sales reps like, no, I don't want to split my commissions. And it's like, well, hold on. What if you close twice as many jobs? Well, yeah, you're going to make the same amount of money. Okay. Yeah, like that makes sense, right? We're recognizing that. Okay, but you sell twice as many jobs, but what we've proven so far is we almost 3x, or we 3x the one, and we 2x the other job. So average ticket's higher too. That means your commission is going to be higher,
right,
and your closing rate's going to be higher. It's like, oh gosh, okay, we might be onto something with this. So we're going to keep testing it. But just to give you all an idea of what it's like when you're targeting a $10 million business, all right? When you're targeting doing $10 million a year, you have to test literally everything, even if it sounds stupid, all right? Like sending 2 sales reps, 2 grown men to a customer's house, right? That sounds really dumb, especially when one of you is like a guru on the internet and talking about everything, right? Like, I don't need a second person. No, but I'm willing to test it because I want to be better. I want our community to be better. I want to increase the actual industry. So if this does it, let's freaking do it.
Yeah, just to touch on that quick before we get off, the 10 million mark in that thing. To me, it's, if you're in a hyper-local market, which we all are in essence, depends on what zip codes you want to include in that. So your closest zip codes to where you are, you get that recipe dialed in, you get it right? Then you slowly but surely, and it doesn't have to necessarily be super slow, but you take the same recipe and you start plugging it in, stamping it into the other clusters of zip codes around you. And, you should maximize. There's no reason why any of us are not doing 8 to 10 mil. You know, it's a big boy. It's a big boy effort, but it's totally plausible. Yeah, as long as you have, you know, access to, let's say, 500,000 households. You know, you have reach for that. That it's doable,
For
especially
sure.
with the services we all kind of dance
That's
around.
right.
We all
That
do.
sounds like a lot, but that's really not that many households.
No,
So
no. It's funny. The more we do here in revenue, you know, I'm not impressed. You know, I'm like, it's not as much. It's not as much as I thought it would be.
that's right.
It's never as much as you think when you're in
No,
it. Yeah.
that's right.
Well, you guys were incredibly insightful tonight. I have to tell you, if I didn't have headphones on, I'd take my hat off for you. You guys crushed it, and very generous too to kind of give your secret sauce out. But let's be honest here. I could give you the handbook, the play-by-play, but it doesn't mean you're going to go and do it, because what you guys are pulling off is it takes a lot of intestinal fortitude, and you guys are gangsters. So if you could teach that and apply that to some of these fellas and gals, I'd love to see them meet you somewhere, fly in, you know, whatever it takes. Let's get these guys beefed up on this stuff, because it sounds like it's making a huge difference in your business, and I'm sure it would for theirs as well. I think Mr. Rogers is here.
There we go. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, sweet. No, this was awesome. Daniel, thank you for joining us. This was a short notice
Yeah,
one.
Daniel, great to see you, man. We need an off-air conversation too. I thought we were going to a nice place before we went live. So, Kyle, Daniel, you know, let's keep the chat going.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Next week live, but I'm sure you and I will be talking more. Night, all.